let me tell you about Mike's story, a cautionary tale that might just save you from a world of heartache. Mike met Sarah at a coffee shop, and man, she seemed perfect at first. Confident, career-driven, and passionate about her beliefs. But as their relationship progressed, the red flags started waving like crazy. You see, Sarah wasn't just a feminist, she was what you'd call a toxic feminist. Now, don't get me wrong, believing in equality is great. But Sarah took it to a whole different level. Let me break down what Mike experienced, so you know what to watch out for. First off, Sarah had this thing about physical affection. Anytime Mike tried to hold her hand or give her a hug in public, she'd lecture him about how displays of affection perpetuated patriarchal ownership. Even in private, intimacy was always a political statement rather than a natural expression of love. Then there were her male friends, dozens of them. Now, having friends of any gender is totally normal, but Sarah would constantly hang out with different guys, posting photos at 3 a.m. from clubs, while telling Mike he was being possessive if he even asked about her night. Double standards, you bet. Speaking of late nights, partying was her lifestyle. Not just occasional fun nights out, but constant clubbing until dawn. When Mike suggested spending a quiet evening together, she'd accuse him of trying to control her social life. The thing is, relationships need quality time together. But Sarah saw any request for shared moments as an attack on her independence. When it came to their shared apartment, that's where things got really interesting. Sarah refused to do any housework, claiming it was submitting to patriarchal expectations. But here's the kicker. She expected Mike to do everything because, according to her, men needed to make up for centuries of oppression. The dishes would pile up until Mike handled them, and the laundry? Don't even get me started. The yelling. Oh, the yelling. Any disagreement, no matter how small, would turn into a full-blown lecture about male privilege and toxic masculinity. Mike couldn't express his feelings without being told he was mansplaining or being typically male. It was like walking on eggshells in his own home. Sarah would regularly post about their private arguments on social media, painting Mike as the villain in her narrative of fighting the patriarchy. When he'd ask her to keep their personal life private, she'd accuse him of silencing her voice. Every relationship issue became public spectacle for her online followers to judge. The breaking point came when Mike realized he hadn't felt genuinely happy in months. His friends noticed he'd become withdrawn, constantly anxious about saying or doing the wrong thing. That's when he understood this wasn't about feminism at all. This was about control, manipulation, and emotional abuse wearing the mask of social justice. Here's the thing, folks. True feminism is about equality, mutual respect, and understanding. What Sarah practiced was something entirely different. It was weaponizing an important social movement to justify toxic behavior. A healthy relationship, regardless of gender, should include mutual respect for boundaries, open, calm communication, shared responsibilities, trust and privacy, support for each other's growth, understanding and compromise. Mike eventually found the courage to leave, and guess what? He later met someone who showed him what real feminist values look like: equality, respect, and genuine partnership. Now he's in a healthy relationship where both partners lift each other up instead of tearing each other down. So let this be a warning. If you're dating someone who uses any belief system, feminism, religion, politics, whatever, to justify controlling, disrespectful, or abusive behavior, that's your cue to exit. A toxic person wrapped in any ideology is still toxic. Look for partners who practice what they preach about equality and respect. Your mental health and happiness are worth it. Remember, folks, real love builds you up. It doesn't tear you down. Don't let anyone convince you that emotional abuse is justified by their beliefs. You deserve better than that, and the right person will show you exactly what better looks like.